If you're wondering when your Social Security and disability benefits are going to be paid in November 2023, you've come to the right place. In addition, if you've received stimulus checks in the past, the Social Security Administration is sending overpayment letters because your benefits may be at risk. So stay tuned to the end of this video and find out if there is something you need to do to get ahead of this. So let's get right into it. So before I begin, let's look at what I want to cover today. First, I'm going to talk about the Social Security payment dates for November 2023 for Social Security, SSI, and SSDI benefits, and what you should do if your benefits do not come in on time. Next, I'm going to talk about stimulus checks. A lot of you have probably received overpayment letters that is triggering the Social Security Administration to demand thousands and thousands of benefits back from you because you were paid more money than you deserve because you received stimulus checks. So I'm going to walk through that. And then finally, the COLA was announced. The cost of living adjustment came in at 3.2%. I'm going to talk about what it means and when it's going to go into effect and how much you should expect as a result of the COLA increase. Now, before I get into anything, if you are new to this channel, if you're new to Social Security Edge, I want to urge you to subscribe because the entire channel, we're dedicated to bringing you the latest news and updates on anything that may be happening both in and out of Congress that may affect your Social Security or disability benefits. So let's get right into it. So let's talk about payment schedule. How does the Social Security payment schedule works? If you don't know, both for Social Security and SSDI benefits, you are paid based on your birth date and a specific Wednesday. Now, if your birthday is between the 1st and the 10th of the month, you're going to receive your SSDI or your Social Security retirement benefits on the second Wednesday of the month. If your birthday is between the 11th and the 20th, then your Social Security and SSDI benefits will be paid on the third Wednesday of the month. If your birthday is between the 21st and the 31st of the month, then your benefits will come in on the fourth Wednesday. Now, both of these dates are solid unless the specific Wednesday falls on a holiday. Then your benefits will be paid the business day before, which is typically going to be the Tuesday before. So, now that you know how the benefit schedule works for Social Security and SSDI, let's talk about SSI benefits. SSI, Social Supplemental Security Income benefits, are paid on the 1st of each month unless that date falls on a weekend or a holiday. If that happens, then your benefits will be paid on the business day before. If you live outside the United States, if you receive both SSI and Social Security, if your state is responsible for paying your Medicare premium, or you file for Social Security before 1997, then your benefits will be paid on the 3rd of each month. So now we have walked through how the benefit schedule works. Let's talk about the specific dates on when these benefits will be paid. So for November 2023, for Social Security and SSDI benefits, your benefits will be paid on November 8th, Wednesday, November 8th, if your birthday is between the 1st of November and the 10th of November. You'll receive your benefits on November 15th if your birthday is between November 11th and November 20th. And you'll receive your benefits on November 22nd if your birthday is between November 21st and November 30th, since there's no 31 days in November. So that is how the payment schedule is going to work for Social Security and SSDI benefits. For those on SSI, as I mentioned, your payments are paid on the 1st of the month. November 1st is a Wednesday, so your benefits are going to be paid on Wednesday, November 1st. Now, since November 3rd is a Friday, those of you who live outside the United States, you receive SSI and Social Security benefits, or your state pays your Security before 1997, then you are going to get your benefits on Friday, November the 3rd, on schedule. So both SSI benefits are going to be paid on schedule on the 1st and the 3rd. Now, if you do not receive your benefits, if for whatever reason your benefits do not come in as scheduled, as I have gone over, here's what you need to do. The first thing, according to the Social Security Administration, is to wait for 3 business days. Wait for 3 business days after your due date before doing anything. Now, after 3 business days, if nothing happens, it may be that there's a bank issue. There's an issue with your bank. The wire transfer did not hit on time. So if after those 3 business days, you still do not receive your benefits, then call the Social Security Administration at 1-800-772-1213. Now, you may also log into the Social Security Administration website if you have already set up an account. If you haven't set up an account, we have a video in our video library on YouTube for you to see how to create a Social Security account online to be able to view your benefits. But if you've already created an account, log in and see why your benefits did not come in. It may be that you have an overpayment issue, so your benefits are being taken to pay those overpayment until it is completed, or your benefits may have been canceled because you violated a rule, a Social Security rule that has caused the cancellation of your Social Security or disability benefits. Now, as I mentioned, if you've received stimulus checks, there were 3 stimulus checks that were issued. If you've received one of them, you may be at risk of losing your benefits, especially for disability beneficiaries. So stay tuned as I explain what this is about. So, basically, according to CNBC, stimulus checks have caused some Social Security SSI beneficiaries to lose benefits. And Congress is actually trying to look into why this is happening, because when the stimulus checks were being sent out, there were people were told that there were no strings attached and that the extra income was not going to compromise people's benefits, Social Security and disability. But that's not what has happened. 1 million overpayment letters have been issued by the Social Security Administration trying to collect overpayments back. So if you're one of those people who have received a letter, or if you're wondering what this is about, now I'm going to explain the details. So there were 3 stimulus checks that were sent out. The first one was March 27, when, the pandemic started. It was $1,200 for a person and $2,400 for a couple. Now, if you know, for Social Security SSI, there is an asset limit, a resource limit, $2,000 for an individual, $3,000 for a couple. So as you can see, this stimulus payment may have triggered some overpayments issues for people because they may have gone over the resource limit that they were supposed to stay under. So the second stimulus check came in December 2020. It was for $600 per individual and $1,200 per married couple. And then the third one came in March 11, 2021 for $1,400 per individual and $2,800 per married couple. So all these stimulus put together may have allowed people to have more resources in their bank account than they were allowed, especially if you're under SSI benefits, where you're supposed to report any asset or resource limit that is over, because the Social Security Administration will get information from the IRS about everybody that has received a stimulus check, and then they're going to realize that you have more money in your resources than you were entitled to, and so your benefit needed to be reduced. So what has happened is that people were told that the stimulus checks were not going to affect their benefits, but now retirees, disabled individuals are losing benefits because of overpayments, or benefits are being suspended. And so now 2 senators, are getting involved. Actually, 3 of them, Ron Wyden, Sherrod Brown, and Bob Casey, have expressed deep concern and are holding hearings to find out why Social Security Administration is sending overpayment letters for people who receive stimulus checks. As I mentioned, it is the asset limit that is tripping people up. So people who are disabled, blind, elderly individuals with limited resources are receiving these letters that they have to pay thousands and thousands. I mean, we did a whole video about this where people have received letters where as much as, some people owe $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. There was somebody that owed $120,000 in overpayment, and were being asked to pay this back within 30 days, or they risk their benefits being taken or a portion of it being taken. So, they may suspend your benefits, and to really get a handle on this, it takes a lot of bureaucratic work to get through that. And then for some people, their Medicaid may also be at risk, or they may be dropped from Medicaid altogether. So this is why Congress is trying to figure out what's going on. One of the issues that caused this is the asset limit. So there's a bipartisan bill in Congress to try to raise the asset limit for SSI beneficiaries, because that asset limit of $2,000 per individual and $3,000 per couple has been that way for a very long time. And because of inflation, inflation has eaten up that asset limit, that it is time for Congress to revise that so that it will be a realistic, because that asset limit is so low that it's keeping a lot of people in poverty who are receiving SSI benefits. Because the moment they make money over the $2,000 limit, their benefits are reduced. And remember, the maximum benefit is not that much. It's $914 for SSI benefits per individual, and it has gone up a little bit, but not by that much. So, what should you do if you receive an overpayment letter? Well, the best thing to do is appeal. Here's why you should appeal, because one, the Social Security Administration makes mistakes. They may have calculated your overpayment number wrong, or they may have calculated when you started receiving overpayment, it may be incorrect, or you may know something that they did not know that you can provide that shows that you did not violate any rule, or that the money you received, or whatever money they think you have received, did not violate any policy. So appeal. But here's the thing about appeal. If you're going to appeal within 30 days. The letter you're going to receive is going to tell you to appeal within 60 days. But here's the issue though. The Social Security Administration is going to start collection in 30 days. If you don't pay the entire overpayment amount within 30 days of receiving the letter, they're going to start collection, which means that all of your benefits or a portion of it will be taken away towards the payment of the overpayment until it is completed. So if you want to avoid that, file your appeal within 30 days, because by law, then they cannot begin the collection process until they have made a decision about your appeal. Now, because Congress is making a lot of noise about what is happening with these overpayment letters, I think the Senate had a hearing recently talking to the the acting Social Security Administration head. And so what the Social Security Administration is saying is that they are instructing their employees to look into the stimulus issue and why the economic impact payments that were not supposed to have been counted as income or against SSI beneficiaries are now being counted and causing people to owe all this money as overpayment. So that is what you need to know about the stimulus issue and how it is causing people to lose benefits or temporarily get their benefits suspended or a portion of it taken away. So now let's talk about the Social Security COLA increase and what that means for you. So, as I mentioned, COLA came in at 3.2% this year. And if you look back on the last few years, even though it was higher than 2023 and 2022, it is lower than 2020 and 2021. So what's going on here? Well, number one is because inflation is coming down. And the COLA, the cost of living adjustment, was high in 2023 and 2022 because inflation was historically high. And now that inflation is coming down, the COLA is coming down as well. So over the last 20 years, the average COLA has been 2.6%. So what you're receiving now, or what you're going to get in January, is actually a little bit above the average for the last 20 years. So that is what is going on with the COLA. So now let's talk about what that means for SSI beneficiaries, in specifically how much you are going to get. So the maximum benefit for SSI was $914 in 2023 for an individual, and for a couple it was $1,371. And your asset limit, as I've mentioned, has remained $2,000 for a long time and is $3,000 for a couple. So how does that change for 2024? Well, let's look at each individual category. For Social Security beneficiaries, your average benefit is going to increase from $1,827 to $1,907. For SSDI, which is Social Security Disability Insurance, your average benefit is going to go from $1,483 a month to $1,537 a month. For Supplemental Security Income, which is SSI, your maximum benefit is going to go from $914 a month to $943 a month, which is about a $29 increase. And then for SSI couples, if both of you are receiving SSI benefits, your maximum benefit is going to go from $1,371 to $1,415 a month. And when it comes to asset limit, as I said, for SSI, your asset limits are going to remain the same. So that is what is going on with Social Security payments for November 2023, and what you should expect and when your payments are going to come in. And I've also talked about what's happening with stimulus payments and how that has caused over limit and overpayments for people, and people are receiving all these letters. 1 million letters have been sent out by the Social Security Administration this year alone, trying to get back overpayments that people owe. So if you have any questions at all about any of this, let us know in the comment section below. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing, because as I mentioned, at Social Security Edge, all we do is bring you the latest news and updates about Social Security and disability, and we want you to be the first person to know. So hit that subscribe button. So until we see you in the next video, thank you for watching.